35 years. That's how long the Jeep Grand Cherokee has been one of America's most recognizable SUVs. But here in 2026, Jeep has made a move that's got people talking. They dropped the V6 from most trims and replaced it with a turbocharged 4-cylinder. Now, before you click away thinking that's a downgrade, stick with me. Because what's under that hood is not what you'd expect. And that's just the beginning of what makes this refresh genuinely interesting. Welcome back to Luxury Cars Analysis, where we cut through the marketing noise and give you a real-world, value-focused breakdown of today's most talked-about vehicles. Today, we're diving deep into the 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Full review, all trims, honest verdict. The Grand Cherokee sits in one of the most competitive spaces in the American auto market, the mid-size SUV segment. You've got the Ford Explorer, the Hyundai Palisade, the Kia Telluride all fighting for the same buyer. So what exactly is Jeep bringing to the table this year to stay relevant? Let's find out. On the outside, Jeep hasn't reinvented the wheel. And honestly, they didn't need to. The Grand Cherokee has always had presence on the road, and the 2026 update sharpens that presence without breaking what works. You get a revised 7-slot grille, more angular, cleaner in its execution. The headlamps have been redesigned with a more dramatic LED signature that curves through the front end in a way that feels premium, not overdone. The lower front fascia has been completely reworked. A painted section splits the lower grille in two, adding visual depth and a more modern look. Around the back, the bumper has been lightly updated as well. Does it look dramatically different from the 2025? No. But that's not the point. The 2026 Grand Cherokee looks like exactly what it is, a refined, mature American SUV that commands respect whether it's parked in a suburban driveway or sitting at a trailhead in Colorado. Step inside, and this is where the 2026 update makes its strongest case. Jeep has always done a solid job with the Grand Cherokee's interior, but this year they've taken it up another level. The centerpiece is the new 12.3-inch touchscreen running the latest version of Uconnect, Jeep's infotainment system that remains one of the most intuitive in the segment. The interface is fast, the layout makes sense, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard. There's also an available 10.25-inch passenger display on higher trims, which is a genuinely useful feature for long road trips with family. Physical controls are still present alongside the touchscreen. Volume buttons on the steering wheel, a rotary gear dial on the center console. Jeep clearly understands that not everything needs to be a touchscreen, and American drivers appreciate that. The cabin itself carries a flowing dashboard design with slim air vents and soft-touch materials that feel appropriate for the price. Higher trims step up to quilted leather, open-pore wood trim, and ambient lighting. The Alpine and Macintosh audio options are available depending on trim, and both are genuinely impressive for road trips on the highway. One honest note, the second-row legroom is decent but not class-leading. If you're frequently carrying tall adults in the back, it's worth cross-shopping the Grand Cherokee L, the longer 3-row version, which solves that problem entirely. Now let's talk about the headline story for 2026, the engine. The base Laredo keeps the old reliable 3.6-liter V6, putting out 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It's been in Jeep's lineup for over 15 years, dependable, smooth, and rated at 22 miles per gallon combined. Nothing flashy, but nothing to worry about either. Every other trim above the Laredo gets the all-new Hurricane 4 Turbo, a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that produces 324 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. And yes, those are numbers that would have come from a V8 not too long ago. In fact, this engine has a better power-to-volume ratio than Stellantis' own supercharged Hellcat V8. Let that sink in for a second. Out on the road, the power is real and it's accessible. Passing on the highway feels confident, merging onto busy interstates is effortless, and the tow rating holds at 6,200 pounds, strong enough for a boat, a camper, or a trailer without breaking a sweat. Fuel economy improves to around 23 miles per gallon combined, a meaningful gain over the old V6. Now, two honest caveats. First, the transmission can feel a touch hesitant at times, particularly during moderate acceleration. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's noticeable. Second, the engine sounds are partially enhanced electronically inside the cabin. Jeep is piping in some sound to make the 4-cylinder feel more dramatic. Some buyers will love the character. Others will feel it's artificial. Worth knowing before you sit in one. Off-road capability remains a genuine Grand Cherokee strength. Multiple terrain modes, hill descent control, and available 4-wheel drive make it more than capable for weekend trail driving across America's national parks and forest roads. Here's where the real conversation starts. The 2026 Grand Cherokee lineup starts at $37,995 for the base Laredo in rear-wheel drive. The Laredo Altitude, which adds the 12.3-inch screen, synthetic leather, heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and wireless charging, sits at around $45,435 with 4WD. That's widely considered the sweet spot in the lineup. The Limited comes in just above that, adding premium finishes and a power liftgate. Then the Limited Reserve at around $50,990 adds the full luxury package. At the very top, the Summit starts at $59,995, and fully loaded, you're looking at over $66,000. That top number is where things get complicated. At $66,000, you're not just cross-shopping Ford and Chevy anymore. You're bumping into the lower range of German luxury SUVs. And that's a real conversation worth having with yourself before signing anything. Here's the honest value breakdown. Under $46,000? The Laredo Altitude is a genuinely strong buy. You get the new engine, modern tech, safety features, and Jeep's legendary trail capability at a fair price. $46,000 to $55,000? The Limited and Limited Reserve trim range makes sense for buyers who want a premium daily driver with real off-road credentials, without paying luxury brand prices. Above $60,000? The Summit is beautifully equipped, but you need to be comfortable paying Jeep money for near-luxury features, knowing that brands like BMW and Audi start around that range too. The warranty is 3 years and 36,000 miles basic, with 5 years and 60,000 miles on the powertrain. Serviceable, but not class-leading. One important reliability note: RepairPal rates the Grand Cherokee 3.5 out of 5 on reliability, and Jeep's historical reliability record is mixed. That's not a reason to walk away, but it is a reason to budget for potential repairs if you're buying outside of warranty. So, is the 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee worth buying? Here's the bottom line. If you value a nameplate with genuine history, real off-road capability, a cabin that feels upmarket, and a powertrain story that's more interesting than it looks on paper, yes, the Grand Cherokee earns its place at the table. It's best suited for American families who want an SUV that handles school runs, highway road trips, and the occasional trail weekend without missing a beat. At the Laredo Altitude or Limited trim level, it represents honest value in a segment that's getting increasingly competitive. Where it gets harder to justify is at the top of the range, where the price climbs into territory where you owe it to yourself to also look at what Kia, Hyundai, and even entry-level European brands are offering. The 2026 Grand Cherokee isn't perfect, but it's better. And for a lot of buyers in this country, better is exactly enough. If you found this breakdown useful, drop a comment below. Would you go for the Laredo Altitude or stretch to the Limited? I'd love to know where you land. Don't forget to subscribe to Luxury Cars Analysis for more honest, no-fluff reviews every week. We'll see you in the next one.